Okay, hey, hi everybody. Welcome to your Saturday morning Health Gods Yoga Vinyasa flow to the white stripes. So I put the playlist in the chat, and I'll put it in there again. I totally dropped the ball on sending it to Crystal beforehand, so I don't think that she had the link to send it out when she sent the link for the class, and it probably won't be with the recorded one. So if you have Spotify, if you just type in HGY white stripes, it will come up. We won't start it right this second. We'll start it just in a minute. So we're going to start seated. I am Kayla. I forgot to say that. I'm Kayla from Zyre Yoga. I am honored to be here stepping in for Crystal while she is getting married today. So Crystal, if you're watching this back, congratulations. We're all really happy for you. Yeah, so I like to teach my classes alongside of my mat. So I'll be turning back and forth. So if you can watch me with alongside facing whatever you're watching me on, that's ideal because then you're not like turned away from me at any point. But I know that not everybody's like yoga spaces are set up in a way that that can happen. So if you can't, you might just be needing to look over your shoulder at me occasionally. If you could just let me know if you can hear me, that would be fabulous. And there's the playlist again. Yeah, so hopefully this is working the way it's supposed to. And I suppose we'll get started. So we're just going to start seated. And I like to start facing the right side of my mat. So just getting yourself comfortable, close your eyes. If you like to sit on a block, you are welcome to. And if you have blocks, maybe have them by you so that we can use them later. But just taking yourself here. And if you want to, you can start your music now. So just a couple of long inhales and exhales to get settled. And just kind of taking a moment, maybe letting your forehead relax, your jaw relax, shoulders, even your belly. And just taking a moment to find any spaces in your body that maybe you hold a little bit of extra tension. If they can be softened, go ahead and soften them. Finding any spaces in your body that maybe need a little bit of extra care. And just reminding yourself that we want to feel better at the end of our practice. So if you need to adjust or modify any of the movements or skip them, you are welcome to do that. I'm not there, so I can't see how you're feeling, and I don't know how your body would feel anyway. So it's a real choose your own adventure here. And just a couple more breaths here, just seated before we really move into it. Lengthening the breath a little bit. If you joined a little bit late, the playlist is in the chat. And then when you're ready for it, we're just going to find our way over into a child's pose. And we're going to start moving pretty much right away. So sitting back into your child's pose, and we're going to go through like some kneeling vinyasas. So just moving yourself forward onto the knees and lowering down to the belly. Inhaling to lift the chest. And then exhaling down and press yourself back into your child's pose. And we'll just go through that a few times. So kind of warming up through all the big joints in the shoulders and the hips, knees and elbows. And as you're moving through this, maybe starting to connect your breath. So inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you lower, or whatever feels most comfortable for you. So as we move through this a couple more times, if you want to make it slightly larger, you can come into a plank and start to move through that whole plank, maybe an upward facing dog, and maybe down dog, but you can stick with being on your knees and into child's pose a few more times. Maybe one last time through whichever version you're taking. And then let's all meet in downward facing dog. So bending the knees a lot, shaking out the head, maybe start to pedal the legs. See if you can get the tailbone a little bit higher. Long, full inhales and exhales. And then taking your gaze forward, just start to walk your feet up to the top of the mat. I like to take my feet a little bit wide to give my belly space, and then if you like to, maybe grab opposite elbows and just hang here for a moment. Maybe kind of shaking out the head or rocking around. And then on your inhale, rolling yourself up. We're just gonna move through sun salutation days a few times. So nice deep long breath. As you exhale, bending in your knees, find your way back into your fold. Hands onto your shins, roll your shoulders back, come up halfway. And as you exhale, planting your hands, step yourself back. So any version of a vinyasa you like, including skipping it, maybe on the knees, maybe on the toes. You can take a cat and cow if it feels better. And we'll meet in downward facing. Holding here, maybe this one feels just a little bit more comfortable than the last. Looking forward, walk your feet back up. And we'll lift halfway, long through your spine. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up, reaching. We're doing the same thing one more time. So as you exhale, find your fold. Lifting halfway, get long. On your exhale, folding, plant your hands, step yourself back. Coming onto the knees or not, and maybe skipping the vinyasa completely. Meeting in downward facing. Taking a few breaths here. If it feels all right for you, just take your feet a little bit wide. We're gonna walk our hands halfway back on the mat. And then bending really deep, bring your hips down towards your heels, and then come back up. So almost like a malasana with our chest low for bear pose. Just warming up through the hips a little bit more. And then if it feels all right, maybe walk your hands back. You can sit into malasana. You can put a block underneath your hips if it feels better. Hands can stay on the ground, heels can be up. Long breath here. Full exhale. And then just walk yourself back out into downward facing. You're welcome to take another vinyasa here. So moving forward to plank, chaturanga, up dog, cobra, whatever you like. We're just holding this down dog for a breath or two. And then looking forward, we'll walk our feet to the top of the mat. Inhaling to lift halfway, get long through your spine. On your exhale, fold yourself down. And inhale, roll all the way up, reaching tall, deep breath. As you exhale, fold back down. Lifting halfway, long through your spine. On your exhale this time, right foot will step back, coming down onto your right knee. Inhaling, reach your arms up, deep breath. As you exhale, bringing your forearm onto your thigh, we'll lean. I actually said the wrong leg coming back, so we might have ended up facing away from each other for a moment, but that's okay. Come back up through center, deep breaths. Exhale, coming down, step yourself back. Maybe move through vinyasa, maybe not. Inhaling up with the chest. And exhale, finding your way back to downward facing. Reaching up with your right leg, take it high. And step your foot all the way up to the top of the mat, bringing the knee down. Lifting. As you exhale, bring your forearm to your thigh, finding that big side stretch. And then come back up through center, deep breath. Exhale your hands down, bring your back knee up, just kind of rock back for a moment, and we'll step to the top of the mat. Lifting halfway, get long through your spine. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up, reaching tall. We'll try that again, see if I can get the sides correct. So as you exhale, find your fold. Inhale to come up halfway, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, fold. So this time, it's your left foot that's stepping back. Inhaling to reach the arms, deep breath. As you exhale, take your hands inside of your front leg. We're gonna pick up our back knee, and you're gonna walk your hands along the long edge of your mat. Find a wide forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, just rock side to side. When it feels good, releasing the hands, we're gonna come up halfway, get long. Walking your hands over towards the left side of your mat. Bring your right knee down, reach your arms up, deep breath. As you exhale, taking the hands down, step back to plank. Move through Vinyasa if you like. Inhaling up dog or cobra, and back to downward facing. Left leg's gonna lift, take it high. Bending in the knees, see if you can stack your hips. And then looking forward, we'll step our foot all the way up, finding a crescent lunge this time. So reach the arms, deep breath. As you exhale, open your chest, cactus with the arms. Inhale to reach. As you exhale, open yourself up into a goddess. Inhale, lengthen nice and long. As you exhale, we'll turn to the other side. Opening up through the chest. Moving through that. As you exhale, hands down to the floor, step back to plank. Move through Vinyasa. Inhaling up dog or cobra. Exhaling back to downward facing. When it feels good, right leg's gonna lift, bending in the knees, so you can open your hips. As you exhale, looking forward, step your foot all the way up. Bring yourself back into your crescent lunge. As you exhale, open through the chest. Inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, open up into your goddess. Holding here for a moment. So we're gonna turn to the left side of the mat. Reaching, exhale to open. Bringing your hands all the way back down. Step yourself back to your plank Vinyasa if you like. Inhaling up dog or cobra. And back to downward facing. Reaching your left leg high, take a deep breath. We'll step the foot up to the top of the mat. Coming into a kneeling lunge, reach your arms. As you exhale, take the hands down. Picking up your back knee, rock yourself back and step up to the top of the mat. Hands onto your shins, lift, deep breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up, reaching. This time we're gonna sink down into our chair, deep breath. Holding here. If it feels better, hands can come to the heart center. See if you can see your toes. Take a few more breaths here, maybe slowing the breath back down, feeling that heat starting to build in the legs. On your exhale, we'll fold down. Lifting halfway, deep breath in. On your exhale, folding down. Right foot stepping back. Bring your knee down. Reach your arms up, deep breath. As you exhale, hands back down. We're just gonna shift forward and back a few times, straightening out your left leg. Coming into like a half a split. And then if it feels all right for you, the next time that you have your legs straight, we'll hold. You're gonna take your right toes, pivot them back. Walk yourself along the long edge of your mat, all the way bringing your right arm to the floor. Into this like side plank variation. And then if it feels all right, lifting your left leg off the ground. Maybe half moon, and if you want to, you can bring your foot in, maybe grabbing hold of it and taking a bow variation. We're gonna lengthen that leg back out, bring the foot down, close yourself off to the right side of the mat, moving through chaturanga if you like. Inhaling up dog or cobra and back to downward facing. Holding here. Take a few breaths. Settling back in. Shaking out the head. And then looking forward, walk your feet to the top of your mat. We're gonna lift halfway, get long through your spine. On your exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, roll all the way up, reaching tall. As you exhale, sink down into your chair. Maybe you can come deeper this time. Look down and make sure you can see your toes. Hands to your heart if you like, or they can stay up over the head. On your exhale, find your fold. We'll lift halfway, lengthening your spine. And as you exhale, left foot's gonna step back. We'll come into our kneeling lunge. Deep breath in. As you exhale, taking the hands down and shifting forward and back, finding your half split. Just moving through it a few times. And then just like before, if it feels all right, we'll hold in our half split. Your left toes are gonna pivot behind you. Start to walk your hands all the way over. So your left hand's coming over to the left side of the mat, opening into that like kneeling side plank. You can hold yourself here or float to your right leg up. Just like on the other side, maybe it feels good to bring that foot in. You can grab for it. Opening the chest. And then lengthening that leg back out. Bringing both hands down to the floor, step back to plank. Chaturanga if you like. Up dog or cobra. And back to downward facing, holding. Take a few deep breaths. When it feels good for you, your right leg's, nope, not your right leg, your left leg is gonna lift up, take it nice and high, bending in the knee. See if you can stack the hips, maybe like wild thing, you can bring your foot down and open up through your chest. And then we'll spiral back over, lifting the leg and step it all the way up to the top of the mat. Warrior one, reaching your arms. As you exhale, take them down behind you, clasping. Open your chest up, and as you exhale, just fold yourself over your leg, humble warrior. Maybe your arms can reach. Let your head drop all the way. Maybe shake it out. Long, deep breath. We're gonna come from here to warrior two. So when you're ready, releasing the arms. Open yourself all the way up. Back hand to back thigh, reach to reverse. Coming forward, extended side angle. All the way back, straighten the front leg, reverse triangle, ooh. And then find yourself into triangle pose. If it feels all right, kind of swing wheel that arm around. Try to open your chest more towards the ceiling. And then the next time it's up, holding it there or taking it to your back. Take a few breaths here. Press really firmly into both feet and squeeze your quads. One more long breath here. On your next exhale, we're gonna bend into our front leg, reaching up with the arm, and then bring yourself up, spiral open into balance. Long deep breath in, reaching. As you exhale, sink back down. Turn yourself to the right side of your mat and step back to a plank. Chaturanga if you like. Up dog or cobra. And back to downward facing, holding. Take a few breaths. Always always having the option to come into child's pose. So when it feels good for you, your right leg's gonna lift up, bending the knee. Open up through your hips. Just like on the other side, if you like wild thing, you can start to slowly bring it down, unwinding the chest towards the ceiling. And then we'll find our way back over, reaching the leg, and we'll step it to the top of the mat, warrior one. Reach your arms up, deep breath. As you exhale, take the hands behind you, clasping, opening your chest, and then we'll fold forward over our leg, humble warrior. Maybe your arms can reach. Let your head hang, so you're not looking forward and kind of crunching the back of your neck. Maybe shake it out. So on your next breath in, we're gonna reach our arms up and open into warrior two. So releasing the arms. Warrior two, back hand to back thigh, reverse warrior. All the way forward, extended side angle. Taking it all the way back, reverse triangle. And then we're gonna come forward into triangle and hold it. So hold it here. Squeeze your hips, press into both feet. And if it feels good, circle that arm around a few times. I'm not sure which direction I did it in before, but whatever direction you're circling, try to open your chest a little bit more as you bring the arm up. And then the next time your arm can stay up, we're gonna take it to your back. Squeeze your quads. Slow the breath back down. On your next inhale, we're gonna bend deep in our knee, bringing yourself up, open yourself back into your goddess pose. Holding here. Deep breath in. As you exhale, come back down. Inhale back up. On your exhale, we're gonna turn to our right side of our mat. So if it's not the top side of your mat, just step to this like regular way so that you're still facing me. We'll come through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And this time find child's pose, holding. Just kind of wiggle around. When it feels good for you, you're gonna walk your hands back towards your knees. Bring the toes together, the knees nice and wide. We're gonna bring our hands behind us. And then thinking like you have a tail coming through your legs, I want you to tuck it forward and then sit back down onto your heels. Maybe you'll feel a big quad stretch here. Hands can come towards each other to open the chest. And then when you're ready, walking your hands forward, we're gonna come up to standing on the knees. So holding here for a moment, we're gonna try a little bit of a balance. So squeezing everything forward, shift the weight over towards your left leg, and we're gonna try to hover our right leg off the ground. So you can hold on to something or you can tap your toe down. And then we're gonna see if we can maybe bring it forward, your toe can tap. Woo. If you can, maybe lengthening the leg. And then we're gonna shift from here into a kneeling lunge. So bring the heel down, shift yourself all the way forward, reach the arms, deep breath. Tucking your back toes, we're gonna lift into a crescent and open into a goddess. Deep breath in, straightening out your legs, turning your toes to the long edge, find a wide forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, holding here. Inhale to come up halfway, get long through your spine. As you exhale, folding, we're gonna turn towards the long edge of the mat, hands on the ground. Back knee is gonna come down to the ground. Inhale to reach yourself up. Untucking your back toes. You're gonna shift your weight back. And we're gonna try to reverse that balance that we did on the other side. So we're gonna try to lift the left leg. Toe can stay tapped. And maybe start to bring it in. Taking that knee all the way under. And then taking it down, hands down to the floor. Shifting yourself to plank, chaturanga if you like. Inhaling up dog or cobra. Back to downward facing. Coming back down onto the knees. Sit back into a child's pose. Take a moment here, pedaling out, or not pedaling out, wiggling out through the hips. And then we'll walk our hands back towards our knees. Same thing we did on the other side. So hands behind you, picking up your glutes, tuck them forward. Maybe walk your hands towards each other to open your chest. And then as you're ready, we'll walk our hands forward again, coming up to standing on the knees, and we're gonna try the whole thing again. So shifting the weight to your right leg, start to pick up your left knee. See if you can hover the leg. Maybe you can bring the knee forward, hovering. You might need to tap. You might need to hold on to something. For some reason, balancing on our shin is harder than on our feet. Maybe it feels good to try to lengthen. And just like on the other side, we're gonna come into our kneeling lunge from here. So shifting forward into the lunge, inhale, reaching your arms. When you're ready, tucking the back toes, we're gonna lift into this crescent lunge. Open into a goddess pose. Lengthening your legs straight, turn your toes to the long edge, and find yourself into the fold. Grabbing opposite elbows, rocking here. When it feels good, coming up part way, walk your hands back to the right side, coming down onto the left knee. Reach your arms, nice long deep breath. If your toes are tucked on your left foot, go ahead and untuck them, and we'll shift our weight, trying to reverse it. So bringing the leg off the ground, maybe it's straight, and start to bring it inward. Toe can tap anytime you need. And then maybe you can hug it under. Taking the knee back down, hands onto the ground. Shifting towards your plank, chaturanga if you like. Inhaling up dog or cobra. Back to downward facing. Pedaling the legs up. When it feels good from here, looking forward, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Lifting halfway, get long through your spine, roll your shoulders back. On your exhale, find your fold. Inhale, roll all the way up, reaching tall. As you exhale, sink down into a chair pose. We're gonna go through a little some standing balances. So when it feels good for you, all the weight's gonna go into your right leg. We're gonna start to bring the left knee up into the chest. Maybe you can give it a hug. Might feel good to rotate your ankle a few times. So if you can, taking your left hand onto your left knee, opening the knee out to the side. And then maybe bring it back in. And just try that a few times, see how it feels. The next time that you bring it to center, take your right hand onto your left knee and we'll find a twist. Lengthening up. See how it feels to maybe take your right hand off, and you might be able to kick that leg out. And then we're gonna bring this leg back into a warrior two. So maybe the whole leg comes around or it might be bent. We're gonna step it back, warrior two. Taking your left hand to your left thigh, find a big reverse warrior. We're gonna hold extended side angle this time. So shifting forward, try to keep as much length down your side as you can. Reaching up with your left arm, and then if it feels good, take it back behind you. Hug the belly. See if you can take the middle of your chest and spiral it towards the ceiling. Holding here, maybe it feels good to bring the hand a little bit lower. You might be able to touch the floor. You can even hold on to your shin, or again, if you have a block, pop it underneath your hand. Just try not to put all of your weight into your leg. We're lifting long through the spine. Now, if it feels good from here, you can hold your thigh. Maybe you can reach the floor or the shin, but we're just gonna start to straighten the front leg a little and bend back in. The next time that you have your legs straight, go ahead and hold it there for a moment. You can release the arm and hold on, finding yourself in more of a traditional triangle with the legs. Head can drop. If it's getting tired, you can look down. If it feels all right, just bringing that left arm to reach. And then we're gonna bend back into our front leg, come back into extended side angle. Left toes, I want you to turn out to the corner. So this is, we're moving from here into Skandasana, that deep side lunge. So it's kind of a weird position to be in. And if you want, you can pop a block under. So we're gonna press into our right leg, come up through center, pull the right toes up and sink down onto that left side. If you need, you can put a block and sit on it. Way more comfortable there. Otherwise, holding down nice and low. Hands to be on the floor. And then if it feels all right, we're gonna walk our hands over towards the left side, pivoting around with your right leg, step back to the plank. Move through Vinyasa if you like. Inhaling, up dog, cobra, whatever feels better, and we'll meet in downward facing. Take a breath here, maybe you need a child's pose. You're welcome to take it at any time. And then when you're ready, just looking forward, walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Lifting halfway, lengthen out your spine as much as you can. As you exhale, fold. Bend your knees deep. We're gonna sweep our arms, come back in the chair. We're gonna do that whole thing on the other side, and then it'll be time to sit. So when you're ready, all of our weight's gonna go over into the left leg, and your right knee is gonna come up into your chest. Maybe give it a hug. Get long, rotating the ankle. As you're ready for it, taking your right hand onto your right knee, we'll open out to the side, and then just close it up a few times. The next time that you have it in center, left hand will come onto your right knee. Find yourself into your twist. And then just like on the other side, it might feel good to start to straighten your leg or just lifting the hand off, holding. And then we're gonna find warrior two. So you can open the leg all the way out or you can bend it, stepping it all the way back into your warrior two. Taking your right hand to right thigh, find a big reverse warrior, reaching back with the left arm. And then we're gonna keep that length on the side as you tilt yourself forward, forearm to thigh, extended side angle. Holding here for a few breaths. If you prefer, top arm can come up, squeezing in the hips. Maybe you can rotate your chest open towards the ceiling a little bit. Just like on the other side, if it feels okay, your hands, welcome to come down to the ground. Getting a little bit deeper, a little bit more fire in the leg. And then you can keep your hand on the ground if you have it there, bring it back to your leg, you can hold on. We'll just start to straighten the leg a little bit and then bend back in. Just moving through that a few times. You don't have to straighten the leg all the way. Your arms welcome to come up if you like. And then when it feels good, we're gonna bend to our front leg and we're gonna find that Skandasana. So we're gonna push ourselves up, turn your toes to the back and start to sink down. Walking up those left toes, just like on the other side. It might feel better to bring a block under your bum. Opening up here. So this side might feel different than the other. It definitely does for me. One or two more long inhales and exhales. And then if you have that block, we'll remove it. Walking your hands over towards the right side of your mat. Step back to plank, chaturanga if you like. Inhaling up, dog or cobra. And then this time find yourself into child's pose. Wiggling around. So when you're ready for it, we're just gonna find our way up to all fours. We're gonna come into a pigeon pose. So if you like to do pigeon pose from downward facing dog, you can come into down dog. We're gonna start on our right leg. If you don't like to do it from downward facing dog, you can just bring your right knee forward. I like to tuck my left toes and then kind of shift back to give space for my ankle to come across and then sliding back with my left leg. And then if you want to get deeper, you can kind of adjust using your back leg. Just finding pigeon where it feels good for you. And then take your hands kind of wide. We're gonna like do a couple of push-ups here. So deep breath in as you exhale, just bowing down. Inhale, pressing into the hand, lifting yourself back up. As you exhale, come back down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And then this last time, exhale yourself down, just relax into it. Just taking a few long inhales and exhales here, and noticing anywhere that you're kind of resisting against the ground. So you might be pressing into your shin. Just kind of allow it to soften so you can sink a little bit deeper. You can use your arms to kind of give some more support than trying to press against it with your legs. We'll have 2 more breaths here. As you're ready for it, bring your hands back down. I'm gonna have you roll to the outside of your right hip. And you're gonna bring your left knee just forward a little bit. So I'll turn so maybe you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So you have like a double 90 here. And then we're just gonna do a little bit for hip strength. So your hands can come to your heart center, you can bring them over to the one side, but we're gonna put more weight into our right leg and see if you can pick up your left. So you're just gonna lift it and lower it a few times. It might cramp like immediately, and if it does, you can just relax. But if it feels okay, lifting and lowering. We'll do maybe 2 more, because I wasn't counting. And then this time, holding it, if it feels okay, maybe you can draw it around. We'll come into a double pigeon. So ankle is gonna come all the way across the knee. And we'll find ourselves here. So I always have a huge space. So I like to bring my hands back. If your legs are close and you like to lean forward, you can. You can also just straighten out the bottom leg, coming into a figure of 4. So find where it feels good for you. We'll just hold for a few breaths. And then when it feels okay for you, we're just gonna move from here into pigeon on the other side. So your left leg will come down. You can rock to your left hip, bringing the right leg out, and then your right leg's gonna come back around you. I'll turn so you can see. So your right leg will just come around you, lengthening out. If that transition is tricky, you can come back to all 4s and move into it that way. And we'll start exactly the same with those like push-ups or bows. So bringing the hands wide, nice long deep breath in, reach the chest. As you exhale, just bend the elbows, bowing down. Inhale, lifting. Exhaling back down. 2 more times. Maybe you want to stick out your tongue. Inhaling. And this time, as you exhale, bowing down, just relax yourself into wherever you want to be. And just like before, try not to press into your shin. If you need to create some resistance, maybe press into your forearms to get some weight out of your leg, but try to let your leg be relaxed. Taking a few long breaths here. And then when it feels good, if you're not on your hands already, we'll come back up onto our hands. Just rocking to the outside of the hip and drawing your right knee forward. So we're back in that double 90. You can just stay here if this feels good, or if you want, we can do those lifts. So shifting the weight to the left leg a little bit, hands can get your heart around the ground, and we'll just try to lift that leg up. Again, it might cramp right away, and if it does, you can bring it forward and just relax it. Or maybe lift it up a few times. I think we did 6 on the other side, but I'm really bad at counting. This time, if it feels all right, as you bring it up, maybe you can bring it around, starting to rock back, bringing the ankle across the opposite thigh. Just adjust yourself as you need to. And again, your left leg can lengthen out. You can just do a figure 4 fold here. You see where it feels good. It might feel completely different on this side. We'll just take a few long breaths. I'm just noticing any sensations in your body. Even if it's just like the way your breath feels, maybe you can feel your heartbeat. And then as it feels good, we'll release that leg off. Maybe both soles of the feet down onto the ground. Windscreen wipering side to side. Oh no. Okay, there we go. And then as it feels good, maybe just turning yourself back. Well, you're probably already facing this way, but I'll turn myself back, and then we're just gonna roll down onto our backs, knees into your chest, start to rock around. If it feels all right for you, taking your hands on one hand onto each of your knees and draw some circles, bringing the knees out and away from each other. And maybe you can let your low back off the ground and back onto it. Opposite way if it feels good. And they can be little circles, they don't have to be really big ones. And then coming back to center, arms out to the T, just let your knees drop to the right. Holding yourself in your twist. When you're ready, coming back through center, and just letting the knees drop to the other side. Relaxing there. On your next in breath, bringing yourself back through center, both feet flat down on the ground. If it feels good for you to come into a bridge, you can. Just pressing the heels into the ground, maybe rising up. You might like to hold, or maybe a rolling bridge feels good. If you're taking rolling bridges, maybe holding this last one. If you want to take a wheel pose, you're welcome to. It's kind of energizing, so you might decide to forego right now. And then if you haven't already, just releasing back down. Feel like both knees can come into the chest again. Giving yourself a hug. Happy baby is always an option with the knees out. Holding the shins of the ankles. Just making any last movements that feel really good for you. And then whenever you're ready for it, you can find your way into any position that you like to be in for Shavasana, for your last kind of few moments of relaxation. The song that's on right now, if you're listening to my playlist, lasts like 20 minutes. So you could just totally zone out and take a nap if you want. Otherwise, just taking some long inhales and exhales. Seeing if you can let everything be heavy towards the ground. Just doing less. You can always wiggle if being still doesn't feel appropriate. So if a long Shavasana is what you're into, just staying here. If you need to move on with your day, you can start to just bring some movement back into your body. So wiggling toes and fingers, maybe rocking your head. Windscreen wipe, bring the legs side to side. Lengthening the breath back out. I like to lengthen my legs out and bring my arms up. And as you're ready, maybe roll off onto one side. Just take a moment to relax there. Start blinking your eyes open. And if you're ready for it, you can press yourself out. Find any seated position that's comfortable for you. Lengthening out long through the spine. On your next inhale, reaching your arms above your head, lengthening out. I like to kind of give everything a shake to wake myself back up. And then drawing your hands to your heart center, giving gratitude to your body. May the light within me reach out and touch the light within all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Kayla. I'm from Zyra Yoga. So if you want to connect with me on the internet, you can. I'm on all of the social media things. Yeah, if you haven't signed up for Crystal's Catskills yoga retreat in September, I'm going to be there. So you should definitely sign up and we can meet in person. Otherwise, I will see you next time that we are practicing together. Yeah, thanks everybody. I'm gonna end this recording.